وجب شكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أيها جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة مرحبا يا خير داع.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all.
Sunrise warms the horizon, sand dunes form in the distance. He's up and out in an instant. The crowd, they all were waiting, watching and anticipating. A man appears from afar. Could it be the one sent by Allah? He shouts, here comes the prophet. His face is a light that drives out the darkness. Words are alive, his message is living. Cure everywhere, our voices are singing.
Welcome to another episode of the Y Factor, listeners. Today is the 1st of March 2011 and subhanAllah how the year has flown past so quickly.
Amazing.
And yesterday was the 29th of March, which was February. Yeah, a leap year, which only comes around once in 4 years.
So ladies, let us know who did the proposals last night.
Yusra has this theory that apparently, I don't know, it's some folklore tradition or something that you ladies propose on the 29th.
Every leap year, a lady can propose.
I don't know where you're getting your information from. I think that's a very bid'ah claim there you have. But let's introduce Yusra to the audience Y Factor. We have Yusra Mutwalli, who's a guest host on the Y Factor today. So welcome to the show, Yusra.
Thanks for having me, Tasneem.
No problems at all, inshallah. All right, this week we have a very exciting episode ahead of us. We interview Brother Ahmed Kilani, the founder and director of Muslim Village, the very famous Muslim website, because in relation to basically community civics and specifically in relation to the Clean Up Australia Day, which MB and FAMC will be hosting this Sunday, the 4th of March in Lakemba. So inshallah, Brother Ahmed will be taking us through the concept of Islamic civics and how basically, community empowerment and what we can do as individuals to actually better our community. We also have various sound bites from UWS Parramatta, UWS Bankstown, UTS and Macquarie Uni. Disclaimer, the sound bites, the brainchild and the property of those who produce them. So if you find anything weird, the Y Factor wholeheartedly who dissociates itself from it. And when you hear the sound bites, you'll know why I'm giving that disclaimer. So anyway, that's that. So stay tuned, inshallah, especially for those of you who are first year or who have just started university. I think it's really useful because they do have some very sound advice that they can give to first year university students. And it's actually really good to get that transition. I remember when I was first year, you kind of, have that gut feeling
lost.
That's right.
University world. Where am I?
Yeah, and when someone comes up to you and they just say salam alaikum, you're so excited.
There are Muslims here?
That's right. And even just simple things as where's the musalla, is there halal food here? I mean, you can't.
Very helpful.
That's right. So inshallah, MSAs, that's their job on campus, to lead you first years into the light. And so stay tuned for that, inshallah. So without further ado, we will actually get started on the news section for this week.
The Y Factor.
First up, we have the very important issue of Syria, which subhanAllah, every week we hope, a solution is found for it, but it's not. The death toll in Syria, according to official UN statistics, has actually reached over 7,500, to the extent that even the US Secretary Hillary Clinton said that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad could actually be tried for war crimes. Clinton, however, said on Tuesday that pressing charges against al-Assad might hinder efforts to persuade him to cede the power. But subhanAllah, the death toll is more than 100 a day, and that's
shocking.
Civilians.
Absolutely shocking. The United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights, Navi Pillay, has stated that there needs to be an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Syria, saying that the situation has deteriorated rapidly as the Syrian government steps up its onslaught against the opposition. These diplomatic developments have come as reports said that a wounded British journalist who was trapped in Homs along with other journalists and activists had been smuggled to safety in neighbouring Lebanon.
It's really interesting, Yusra. What had happened was apparently the Christians of Syria are actually really angry. What they're saying is for 11 months, many of the leaders stood firmly behind the regime of President Bashar al-Assad. However, Syria's new constitution explicitly says in Article 3 that the president of the country has to actually be a Muslim, thereby barring Christians from the right to run for this top post. So on Sunday, pro-government Syrians went to the polls to approve this new constitution. In the protest to Article 3, however, the Christians voted no because they said it doesn't give them the right of ever, running for this top post. and the opposition movement actually boycotted the election altogether, saying that it was inconceivable for it to take place while the country is up in flames. Nevertheless, the new constitution was actually passed. I don't know who voted for this new constitution amid, the death and turmoil, but apparently in 1973, President Hafez al-Assad, Bashar's father, released a constitutional draft that omitted reference to Islam as the official religion of the state, which enraged conservative Muslims, and after that he actually ended up restoring Article 3 in the original form. So it's actually interesting to see that the dichotomy that's happening with the Christians in Syria.
Yeah. And it's really reminiscent of Lebanon as well, who've got a similar constitutional clause whereby the president's got to be Christian, the prime minister Sunni Muslim, and
there's something for
somebody else has to be a Shia Muslim.
Yeah, there's something
underneath the prime minister.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting again who voted for this constitution, and they're killing
how did that come along?
Yeah, exactly. Well, inshallah, the situation in Syria does get better soon.
It really is dragging on, and I don't know how long it's going to take till things start to fix up a bit again.
The Y Factor.
And in China, 12 have been left killed after there was a
attack by an axe-wielding man. Apparently, this is really sad because this had happened in the I'm so sorry, I'm saying this wrong probably, but the Xinjiang province.
Xinjiang.
Yep, which is the Muslim minority in which the Uyghur Muslims actually dominate. Now, apparently, a group of axe-wielding men have attacked a marketplace in the region of northwest China, home to the mainly Muslim minority, leaving 12 people dead. The motive behind the attack late on Tuesday was not immediately clear, although this region has actually suffered repeated outbursts in recent years, and the government has routinely blamed separatists and terrorists, quote unquote. A local police officer told AFP news agency that about a dozen Uyghurs attacked the market in the town of Yeqing, also known as the Kashgar prefecture, killing 10 people. And apparently, the violence is escalating. We don't realize, China actually has a very, very sizable Muslim minority, and just in 2009, even as late as last year, attacks basically were
very
mounted.
heavily unreported.
That's right. Now, inshallah, we on the Y Factor we are going to have a feature about this Muslim minority.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But subhanallah, it's actually really, really sad to see the amount of violence, and 12 killed by an axe. It's just
without any motive.
That's right. It's pretty disgusting. Speaking of China and the region, the world's most valuable company is going to head to head against a financially ailing Chinese electronics company over the right to use the iPad name in the vast market of China. Apparently, Apple actually lost the first round. The second round is scheduled for next Wednesday in the higher people's court, and it's expected to hear an appeal from the lower court. Basically, according to the case so far, the ProView Technology Shenzhen company, a company trademarked the iPad name in China in 2010, 10 years before iPad's the Apple's global hit. So apparently, they actually wanna sue them.
Now that's pretty insane, given Apple's history in being so protective over all its products.
But apparently they actually the company Apple bought the rights from this ailing company, but now they actually want to they're suing them in court. So we'll see how that goes. But
it's nice to see Apple being sued for once, because
they've got so much money.
Every now and then they're always suing Samsung for copyright breaches, quote unquote.
So this is intellectual
property. Yeah. Oh, we own the iPhone. We own anything that resembles the iPhone.
Yeah. So I know it's interesting to see how it will actually eventuate. In other news, 25 people have been arrested in Spain and South America over cyber attacks linked to hacker network. I think this is interesting because a couple of weeks ago we covered the Saudi hacker that's been hacking into a lot of Islamic websites. Even in Sydney, seriously, the Green Scarf Day was hacked. Some other websites,
wow.
And they were also hacking some websites in Israel. Now, these 25 suspected members of the anonymous hacking movement have been arrested in sweep across South America and Europe, Interpol says. The arrests were made in Argentina, Chile, Colombia and Spain by local police working in collaboration with Interpol's Latin American agency. A statement was issued. Now, it's actually really interesting because the suspects are between the ages of 17 and 40, and they're suspected of planning coordinated cyber attacks against various state and non-state institutions, including Colombia's defense ministry and presidential websites. So it's actually really interesting to see how this would eventuate. Especially like with the whole, like Assange, the trial, and that keeps going.
I think there's a demand, to get information globally, and that there shouldn't be this
by any
restriction on
means.
any.
Well, speaking of internet and the like, Yahoo is threatening to sue Facebook unless the internet social network agrees to license some of its patents covering a variety of online products. The demand was issued late Monday and it actually presented Facebook with a nettlesome headache as it tries to complete for an initial public offering of stock. Now, Facebook's upcoming initial public listing explains why Yahoo denied to assert its patent rights now. So it's actually really interesting now that
Facebook's going on the share market.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting. What I meant was before, they used to companies used to battle out in court over real assets. Now it's over virtual property. That's right. It's really interesting to see how that would turn out.
And the fact that Facebook is going to be trading in the share market, and this company is going to be making billions and billions of dollars out of every single one of you.
Well, that goes also, with all the stuff that's been online about Facebook privacy and the monitoring of personal data and stuff. So I think we just really all need to be really careful.
Also, have you noticed that there's now ads on your page?
Yeah.
That was pretty disgusting because it's very clear that they're making money out of me now.
Really commercialized. But
we all know it, yet we're still on there.
Yeah. Well, all right. And lastly, we'll just take it to local news. Now, the Kevin Rudd saga.
Kevin.
I think it was actually interesting. So we all know that, Julia did win the vote. But it was actually interesting in the last week as, Mark Abib stood down. Bob Carr was attempting to go for the position, but basically was ruled out. But actually really see the interesting how it's going to eventuate, because a lot of the senators that did support Kevin are actually in the firing line now, and their portfolios are in question because obviously Julia's questioning their loyalty. And it's actually really funny, like the comments Tony Abbott has been saying on television about the ALP and stuff. So I think so far nothing substantial has happened, but keep an eye out for that.
Watch this space.
That's right.
The Y Factor.
And just before we leave it there, an interesting hotline has actually emerged. Sorry, helpline, not hotline, has actually been launched in the UK, and it's the Islamophobia hotline. That's right. Now, basically, what they're doing is they're monitoring the rise of Islamophobia in British society, and the new line was launched to offer help for victims of hate crimes in a trial to record the continuous abuse and vandalism targeting the country's Muslim minority. Now, Fayyaz Mogul, the director of Faith Matters, a not-for-profit organisation, told BBC on Thursday that many people think that Islamophobic crime does not exist. They say, where is the data? So basically, the aim of the hotline is to shed light on the actual scale of the problem. And the group set up the Measuring Anti-Muslim Attacks. It's called the MAMA project with the help of government funding. This is a chance for the community to say, let us present the case in terms of the facts, let somebody collate it and present it to the authorities.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to quantify the issue of Islamophobia, and I mean, many of us would agree that Australia and Sydney community, the Australian wider community, is in need of such a service, especially given the recent attacks in Melbourne.
That's right, attacks on mosques and things like that. And it's becoming like a global phenomenon, and I think for a lot of the times, the Muslim community did see it as, here they go again. But at the end of the day, to have effective lobbying, to do something about it, you need effective data.
Absolutely.
And I think having this helpline, again, it's just a trial, so we'll see how it goes and the data that will be released from it. But I think it's important to, as you said, to quantify the issue.
Especially since, if you look at anti-Semitic incidents, they are grouped as a separate kind of attack. Islamophobic attacks aren't given the same treatment, and they're brushed over. They're not given enough attention. So it's definitely something that's in need in the community.
And that's right. Hopefully, when you do have that data, then you can start actual like lobbying groups and things like that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a very effective campaign. So that's in the UK, and we'll see how that goes in Australia. All right, that brings us to the end of the news segment for this week. As I said, stay tuned. We're up next is Ahmed Kilani, who will be speaking about community civics and the Clean Up Australia Day campaign. We also have after that a short break, and then we've got the MSAs who, as I warned you, have some wacko and weird things to present to you. Anything else?
Disclaimer, we are not connected to them.
That's right. All right, you're listening to The Y Factor on 87.6 FM.
Mountains of Mecca, what can you say of the day that Abraham passed your way, and he was instructed by God to build a house of peace where people will pray, and they will come on every lean camel and out of every ravine for the purpose of praising Allah, to glorify Allah. Mecca, what can you tell of the day?
Welcome back from the break, guys. Joining me in the studio today is Brother Ahmed Kilani, what would you say? What would you call yourself, Brother Ahmed?
The troublemaker of the village.
Yes, that's right. We've got Ahmed in the studio today to speak about the concept of civics and community civics, and kind of taking a tangent on a community perspective, and focusing on our Muslim community. So, Brother Ahmed, what is this concept of civics?
Yes, well, you're asking me what it is because nobody knows what it is from the Muslim community. Assalamu alaikum, first of all. And yeah, the concept of civics really, we're using like a term, civics. What does that mean? It really means, I guess, as Muslims, we have forgotten, especially in Australia, I guess, the evidence is everywhere of it. We've forgotten the concept of like taking ownership of your community. People always complain about this and that and the other, but hardly ever do we see people step forward and say, you know what, I'm going to be the one that changes things, or I'm going to be one that starts cleaning this up.
Like active participation.
Yes,
yep.
We can't just be a community of whingers.
Yep.
We need to be a community of people that go out and actually roll up their sleeves and go out and work to make a difference. And we shouldn't always, people will say, oh, what's that going to achieve doing something? No, it's a huge thing. Even if it's just a minor thing, everyone is good at something, everyone can contribute something, no matter what it is.
And that hadith, the lowest of Iman is removing.
Well, yes, removing something from the path.
Yep.
And if anyone's seen that laneway, it's just more than a little stone or a branch. It's moving filing cabinets and heaps of rubbish. So really, it's more, I guess, symbolic. And to me, it was a bit... Our office backs onto that laneway, and what we're talking about actually is the Clean Up Australia Day this Sunday, where we're doing Muslim Village and Famsey cleaning up Croydon Lane. That laneway is used by a lot of Muslims because it's an entrance to one of the musallas there. Mm-hmm.
How ironic.
Yes. And to me, it dawned on me that there was one patch which I fondly called the Lakemba Tip. And people used to throw so much rubbish and garbage there. And I'm not saying Muslims are doing it.
Yep.
A lot of people are just dumping industrial waste there,
yep,
because the council was just every Wednesday comes and cleans it up. And when I'm talking about like I said, filing cabinets, mattresses.
Yeah.
I saw bumper bars, fence palings, like you name it, it's been there. And the sad thing is that every Friday I would see hundreds, if not maybe over 1,000 people would walk past as if it's like, it's just, it's invisible.
The norm.
I think it's desensitized, like when you just, it's kind of the norm in Lakemba, unfortunately,
yes,
that when you see garbage, it's like, but if it was any other suburb, we'd never accept it. So I think that's the issue. Why is it in our communities that, Lakemba or these areas, we accept garbage, we accept, potholes in the road, we accept, things that are not, done properly. Yeah. But if we, for example, saw it in any other suburb, we think it's odd and it's peculiar. Like, why is it that attitude in our community?
I guess what happens with these areas too, it's like if people don't complain, the council won't do anything about it. That's the reality of it. Like if council had 100 people ringing up the first sign of something, they would be making sure that it's clean. But councils are aware of it because they're cleaning it up. But the residents, maybe they don't know, they don't understand how to complain. Or like if you go, say, to areas like Strathfield or Mossman or some of these areas, everyone knows the protocol. If you see something, you ring up the council, you say to them, someone's dumped this or that there, and then the council will come and do something about it. But that could be one reason why people aren't. It's just a lack of education, which they actually met with the council and they're going to try and address that issue. And also, but my office sort of overlooks the station, and I see so many times, and it breaks my heart. Like I'll see, someone driving past that's got a hat and a beard, and they just chuck rubbish out the window. A rapper or some lady wearing hijab who just change a nappy of a kid in the park and just leave the bag there and keep.
Yeah, on Sundays when you get on barbecues, they leave and they've left more rubbish than it's just disgusting.
And it's really like it's a symptom of a bigger issue that we have in our community, in our ummah. I guess we've forgotten how to practically apply our deen. Our deen has become like something that's
rituals,
just rituals
and rituals that we do,
practice.
But we don't really look at the essence of it, the heart of it. Like cleanliness is the most basic thing, and we said before it's the lowest form of iman is to move something from the way, or and we say that the iman is cleanliness. Like subhanallah, like so that's just a symbol that we're not even able to practice the most basic thing in our deen in a practical way.
And I think it's also a symptom of the individualisticness of society. Like you see these houses, for example, like mashallah, mansions popping up in Greenacre, these areas, right? Beautiful, beautiful houses. Inside probably there's no speck of dust. Yeah. But outside, just on their own lawn, on the road, there's garbage, right? And you think, okay, that same care that you take towards your own house, why can't that be extended to the community? And I think that's what we lack in our community, that engagement with the community. You feel that area you live in is a part of you. Your house, it's not just your house, it's that area around it, the neighbours, the strip. We don't have that anymore. We've lost that sense of I can't drive down my road and see rubbish there.
Yes.
And now we just accept it's a norm, and I think that's a major problem.
And rubbish is a very symbolic part because we're talking about physical things, but I mean, I talk about all the time, people complain sometimes about Islamic organisations that aren't allowing access to youth and they're just run by certain individuals and things like that. Well, have you ever gone and said, can I help? Can I come and help clean the mosque? Can I come and help join the PNC at the school? Can I come and do volunteer reading? Whatever it is, just if you can't, unless you get involved
in the community,
and practically involved, no one has the right to complain, in my opinion. So this is really a small example of what we're trying to do. Okay, of course, this came from the FAMSI camp, and we were using that whole theme. I think it was a very, very pronounced theme that Dr. Zakaria and myself at the camp said about you can be the one that creates, you be the change you want to see.
Instigate the change.
We say it's like a slogan, but it's so true. And I think we gave a lot of examples at that camp of things that started by one person and then ended up changing millions of people's and hundreds of thousands of people's lives, and real ones that we know of. So never underestimate what you can do. So inshallah, it's a small step, but I guess really what we're just trying to do is encourage people to get more involved in their community, go out there and do something practical and contribute, and not just this once a year. Find something that you're good at and do it every single week, or even once a month if you can. But try and do something, inshallah, regularly, and that'll bring a lot of barakah as well and tawfiq from Allah.
And ask not what your country can do for you. Ask
what you can do for your country.
Ask what you can do for what you can do for your country. I think it was Jimmy Carter who said that.
No. Try a bit earlier. JFK.
JFK.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
All right, so Ahmed, so this Clean Up Australia is obviously like a national-wide campaign.
Yes.
And people basically get on the website, they register, and they can have various clean-up sites where they get in there and clean.
Yes.
So in the Muslim community, so MBN FAMSI is cleaning up the Croydon Lane.
Yes.
There are other communities that I'm aware of. So I think there's one at Lakemba Mosque in that area.
Mosque has got one actually at the mosque, and they've actually done something really unique this year. They're actually going to do Cronulla Park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they want to actually try and get Muslims. I think they're actually going to organise a bus that's going to leave from the mosque to go down to the park at Cronulla and go and clean that, which is an excellent dawah opportunity as well. So that's going to happen. So they're doing the mosque and the park, and I'm also aware of, I think at Coogee Beach.
University of New South Wales is cleaning up Coogee.
So there might be other ones, but they're the ones that I'm aware of.
So basically, do you think, I don't know, because last year I remember AIM and FMC were doing Punchbowl Park, but
Yeah.
it's nice to see a couple of other organisations take it up. Do you think hopefully it's
Growing
the
movement?
baby steps of
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we actually organised one about 5 years ago. We cleaned up Wiley Park.
Dirty Park.
Yeah, and that was good. And yeah, look, like I said, everyone can do their bit. So this is one small thing. We encourage others to do it, and not just on one day a year. What if, imagine the sight of seeing, say, once a month, a whole group of Muslims going
Every
through,
day. How about every day?
you know,
People
well,
pack
every
away
day,
their
come
rubbish,
on,
put
you're
it in
asking
a
too
bin.
much
I
every
know,
day.
you're just getting too excited there.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it's potential. I mean, like, if we're going to take... A lot of people have been on this excited high since the Arab
Yeah.
Spring, okay? And we've been looking towards, the Middle East as a source of motivation. Why do we have to stop at when they did the revolutions? What happened post the revolution? Like, the images coming out of Tahrir Square with, young, old, they had bags, Copts with Muslims, cleaning up, like, literally
Yeah.
scrubbing, right? How come we don't bring that revolutionary sense here? Imagine how awesome it would be if people literally got out there and felt like, you know what, this public quote unquote property is my private
mine.
area. Yeah, and I have an obligation to clean it, to make take pride in it. And I think once you've got that instilled in the people, then people will get out there. They won't accept rubbish. They won't accept potholes in the floor. They won't accept half-done jobs in these areas,
Yes.
because they feel like they take pride in their area.
I think anyone who goes overseas can really appreciate the cleanliness we have in Australia, can appreciate the rubbish bins.
I agree with you. And I think that's the beautiful thing, like going, as tourists back home, you kind of go and then see the rubbish and you're like, oh, thank God, when
There's
you come
rubbish
back and you've got
bins.
green bins, yellow bins and red
Yeah.
bins.
Yes.
But I think, as Ahmed, you were saying at the beginning, it's beyond the bins, it's beyond the garbage, it's beyond the
Yeah,
potholes.
that's right.
It's about that, that movement. And as you said, like that, civics goes into other areas. So, for example, you're not happy with the way, you think your community sentiments are towards Muslims, for example.
Yes.
Then do
Write a
something about
letter
it,
to,
don't
the
complain.
Torch, the
Exactly, we
advertiser,
said
whatever,
that,
yeah.
That's right. We used all those examples during that day about, I asked people, when was the last time you were really upset when you saw something in the media? And pretty much everyone put their hand up.
And what did you do about it?
And then I said, okay, who actually wrote in a letter, or who rang up, or who tried to email the journalists? Like how they say that there's the 1%, the 99%.
Yeah.
We've got the 99%.
We've
as
got the
well in our
complacent
community. They're
99%,
asleep, and the
yeah.
1% are doing all the work.
That's right.
But just imagine if we didn't just. I'm not asking for 99%. Just imagine you had 5%. Like imagine you had 5 Zachariah Matthews out there monitoring the media.
Also, the victim
Or-
mentality, where a lot of people in the community just think that this is the way it is, that's a status quo,
Yeah.
and it's never going to change. So it's just about changing our mindset and being more positive that we can change our state.
Look, we've got a fantastic community. We have a lot of active young people. We have a lot of intelligent people, very talented people. Like, I don't want to sound like we're bagging the community here. Look, there's a lot of positive things as well. But there's certain aspects, like I said, like the practical application of things that we really can do a lot better in, inshallah.
And you see, honestly, like working with the community, you see the potential and the zeal that they have.
Yes.
For example, with Clean Up Australia Day, it's a Sunday morning, right?
Yep.
And you think people would rather be
9
sleeping
a.m.
in or cleaning or something, cleaning their own houses. And subhanAllah, like the response, people come and they bring their kids, and they actually
Yes.
get in there and get dirty and do it, right? If our community did not have hope, they wouldn't do this.
That's
If
right.
our community didn't have a love for all these values that we're espousing, they wouldn't have done it. So I think we need to, as Yusra said, move beyond the victim mentality, move beyond the negative our community sucks mentality,
Yes.
to basically know we have a lot of potential, and it's these small steps that give people a sense of power, and like pride in their community and their area.
No, definitely. Like you just need to harness it.
That's
really,
right.
At the end of the day. So if people just look and said, like I said, everyone's good at something,
Yep.
or everyone can contribute some way or another. And it doesn't have to be with Muslims. It can be with non-Muslims, whatever it is. But to greater society, go and contribute, in some way to better the community. Because if everybody did that, it would make a massive change. Especially with our community, we're really in a developmental stage, like a second,
Yeah,
third
second
generation.
Yep.
So we need a lot of people to help with a lot of different types, like media, advocacy, all these things that, we've built the schools, we've built the mosques, alhamdulillah, but now we need to build the second tier, foundations of a community and of a society. So, and people need to get involved in these things. So, and also another thing, it builds a lot of love between people when you do things together.
Yeah.
So, and it puts a lot of barakah in it. So it's this Sunday, 9:00. We're going to be starting at Crawdon Lane. You can, I think, if you're going to go to the Clean Up Australia website and just do a search on Lakemba, you'll see a few of them there. So ours is the Croydon Lane one, or say Muslim Village in Famsey. I advise you to bring, if you can, bring some gloves, sunscreen, hats, and make sure you wear dirty clothes.
To get it dirtier.
Yeah, and we'll have, inshallah, we're going to have a barbecue anyway for the people that come. So, come down and you can register. That'll be good if you can register. There's a Facebook page for
That's
it as
right,
well.
MV and Famsey Clean Up Australia Day.
That's right. Just
Okay,
so
so
we can
that's...
have an idea of the numbers.
Yep.
I think so far we've got about 30, 40 people registered.
Yeah, we do.
from memory.
Yeah. So again, that's Sunday
Let's make
the
it
4th.
100 by tonight.
A bit anxious there. That's Sunday the 4th of March.
Yes,
That's right, yeah.
yes.
9 a.m. at the Croydon Lane, and that's just off Haldon Street. So
That's right.
just put it into the nav, inshallah. We'll see you guys there at 9 a.m. Bring
Yep.
the gloves, the
Bright and
water
early.
bottles, the smiley
dirty
faces.
Yes.
And, we're there to reenact the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ,
Yes.
wherein he said, the smallest part of Iman is
Well,
removing that from,
that's right.
yeah.
Inshallah khair, and look forward to seeing, and we'll do other stuff in the future, inshallah. And if you can't do this, there's heaps of other things you can do as well. Look around, see where you can help. And,
don't litter.
How many people have rang up the mosque and said, hey, can I come and help clean washing the toilets or the cement grounds at the back, or prune the gardens, or, there's so many, clean the shoe racks.
No, I think when people have that sense of achievement, inshallah, after Sunday,
Yeah.
after having been there, done that, seeing, that
Seeing a
small...
clean Lakemba.
Exactly, seeing a clean Lakemba, or seeing that small thing that you've done, an hour or two of your life that you sacrificed,
Yeah.
and the joy it brings, inshallah, it would motivate them to go on and do greater things.
Inshallah.
So again, Ahmed, thank you very much
No,
for coming on the
problems.
show. Inshallah, we'll all see you on Sunday and,
Yes.
ready to clean.
No problems.
All right,
Okay,
Jazakallah
assalamu
khair. Wa alaikum assalam.
All the game people playing now, feel the flames. Hatred devours, let's spark a change. That's within all of us. Oh, we need to smile at each other, reach for your brother, help one another. All we need is love. Oh, we need to honor our mother, shelter our sisters, alter our existence. God's help will come from above. But first we need the love.
I am in the birds, I am in the trees. From the brown branches to the green leaves, I'm colorful, spectrum infinite. I touch all, indiscriminate. Breed compassion and sentiment. Limitless in my power to heal the hearts of men. But they're so forgetful, that's why we mine on the instrumentals. This life is a trial, can never let the test affect your smile. Reach for your brother, go the extra mile. Kiss for your mother, hug your sister. Let your wife know that you miss her. Know that you can never give up. When you fall to the floor, I'm the reason you must get up. Love, I'm a blessing from God, so why you don't use me more? It's so odd. You need love, we need love.
All right, guys, up next we've got the sound bites from the different MSAs. First up, we have Mumsa and their weed bear or something like that. Seriously, I distance myself from their weedness, and God help what they're doing. After that, we have Hamza Qureshi from UWS Parramatta. And then after that, we have University of Technology Sydney, and you've got Suha Alamuddin and Miran there. And finally, you've got UWS Bankstown, and you've got Mariam Rafiq there. So stay tuned. You're listening to The Y Factor on 87.6 FM.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. We're broadcasting live today from Macquarie Uni Muslim Students Association's O Week. Today we've just launched our special guest, his name is Hamza Bear. So Hamza, what would you like to say to our guests and our audience?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hamza the Sunnah Bearer. I just feel so honored to be part of the mascot. It makes me awesome. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you, Brother Hamza. Hamza, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? We know that you're alhamdulillah a revert, brother, and you've got a family. You're married to Sister Halima the teddy bear as well. So would you like to tell us something about yourself, about your previous religion?
Well, to be honest, growing up, I was my family practiced the religion of bearers, but they weren't fully they weren't religious or anything, but they followed the main bearers rituals, which is tea parties and all that stuff. But I thought, my life, my purpose in life was so much greater. All my friends got involved in the bear gangs, the bear brotherhood, the bear women, the bear money, but that stuff didn't appeal to me. I knew my purpose was something greater, and subhanallah, I just ended up in the back seat of Hannah's car, and like I would listen to her CDs, and I was just so inspired by Islam. So I approached her and I said, sister, tell me about this great religion.
Hamza, what were you in Hannah's car?
Actually, I was given as a present when Hannah first got her car, and I was given as a present to her. So I would just sit in her back seat and listen to all the beautiful lectures, and subhanallah, I was just so enlightened. So I came to Islam about 5 years ago, and alhamdulillah, you know, I've dedicated my life to giving street dawah to other bears. I've never been so much happier. So jazakallah khair, and make dua for me.
Alhamdulillah, Brother Hamza, you're truly an inspiration for all the beautiful teddy bears out there in this life. You know, inshallah, they all get behind you and they support you like Mumsa supports you. So,
also, I'm going to have a Facebook page, so inshallah, add me as a friend.
And for anyone else, we've got Sister Fatma, who'd like to say some things about what she thought of Hamza today and the first day of O Week, the first official launch of Hamza's as the official mascot of Mumsa. So, Sister Fatma, what would you like to say?
MashaAllah, Hamza was great. We were hugging him all the time. Halal hugs only. Sisters to sisters only. Macquarie, oh my god. Mumsa's O Week launch, alhamdulillah, was really great. We had a lot of sign-ups and we had a lot of inquiries. They hold a lot of events throughout the year, and it's at uni, so it's really convenient.
And you know, just no bias, but Mumsa's got the best sisterhood from all the unis in all of New South Wales. So that's in your face. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just talk a bit about what Mumsa does, especially during O Week. So we've got our store running from Monday to Thursday, and we've got Hamza the Sunni Bear running there throughout the whole week, inshallah. Yeah, and we've got our booklets, our special Mumsa booklets for the Muslim students, starting this year, alhamdulillah, for all the members. You know, tell that to your uni shooters and your MSAs that Mumsa's got membership cards that give you discounts at restaurants like Jasmine One, Pizzaland.
And we're not becoming too corporate. We're just saying this is for the members, and they really do appreciate it. Wallah, this is not for us becoming big or anything, or for the sake of our names, for the sake of Allah, and for the sake of our members, because we do have a lot of international students that want to have restaurants and they want to have bookshops, and they want to know where the bookshops are. So it just gives them access to it. And why not give them a discount? We uni students struggle financially because of all the expenses we pay. So alhamdulillah.
So yeah, so aside from the membership cards, we've got the welcome barbecue that'll be happening next week. We've got the first year students mentoring, the buddy program. Yeah, what else have we got, Hannah?
Inshallah, we're also having a weekly halaqah sister series, and we're doing the great women of Jannah. So how we can replicate them, how we can be like them, how we can be the ideal Muslimah. Also, sisters will be given an exercise every week to do, so it's more interactive, and inshallah will give us an Iman stabilizer, not just an Iman booster. And also we will be just Australian College of Arabic Tajweed professional lessons, which is pretty awesome. No other uni has that. And also Seerah lessons, inshallah.
So, and then of course throughout the year we've got the usual events, which is Islamic Awareness Week and our Diversity Week and other events that we hold throughout the year. Yeah, so just keep an eye out, keep an ear out, whatever it is. You know, like us on Facebook. That's where we do a lot of our updates. Apparently we have a Twitter account. I don't know how that's going, but get on board that. So if you want any more information, just hit up Mumsa on Facebook, visit the website, get through to us. Let us know if you've got any concerns. The shura is always available. Speak to anyone, anytime, at the Musalla. Yeah. So that's exactly it. The Students Association, that's right. So Jazakallah khairan for listening. Any last words? Hamza the Sunni Bear.
Like me on Facebook, inshallah, and I hope to see you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
The Y Factor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hamza Braishi, and I'm from the University of Western Sydney Muslim Students Association Parramatta campus. We've been asked by the Y Factor crew to give a brief rundown of our MSA, considering this week has been a week, orientation week, and so we just want to give a little bit of information about who we are and what we do, especially those who are new to university inshallah. We look after the musalla, we look after press facilities, we look after Ramadan, we look after things that Muslims require in their day-to-day lives at university. The other thing that we do is we engage in dawah activities for both Muslims and non-Muslims on campus. It may seem odd that we try and do dawah to Muslims as well, but one of the main reasons that we have to be active at university campuses is because of the culture that exists at universities. Unfortunately, considering that they're secular universities, they have a very liberal culture, and it's easy to get caught up in the games, the fun, the frivolity, sometimes even the drinking and the partying, and that Western secular culture that we as Muslims should have nothing to do with. So the reason that we engage in dawah to Muslims is because we want to show them that this is not what we should engage in. Rather, considering that we are Muslims and we believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we believe in the profound message of that creed. What we should be aiming to do is create waves. We should, as Muslims, be making waves wherever we go, be that university campuses, workplaces, or anywhere else in society. So that's why we should engage as Muslims. We should engage in dawah to other Muslims who may not be as involved in the deen as some other people, but we should also be aiming to spread this dawah to non-Muslims as well. Because yes, we do have a profound creed, and that shouldn't stay within our hearts or our minds, rather that should be going out to everyone that we can spread it to. And so we aim to convey this dawah at those levels. Also, we have on campus, which is building ESA. So ESA, in the musalla, it's open all the time, so you can go there and pray whenever you require. We also have Jum'ah facilities at the same musalla. So every Friday, roughly at about 1:15, we do have Jum'ah. So please do join us if you're on campus. And one of the main things that we do is we have our magazine, our bi-monthly magazine, which is called The Fundamentalist. Yes, it is an interesting name, but we've chosen it for a reason. The reason is that we know that the term fundamentalist, as is used in the Western context, is rather meaningless and without purpose, much like the use of terms extremist, radical, terrorist, etc. So what we've done is we've decided to adopt this term in order to redefine it, in order to use it along our own lines, so that we can own the term as opposed to those who will label us with that term in a negative way. And so what we seek to do is we seek to assess everything from the most fundamental viewpoint of all. And that, of course, is the viewpoint of Islam itself. And so this magazine is aimed towards Muslims in order to give them a fundamental understanding of issues around them and issues both local and global. So we'll discuss, in our current issue, we have interviews with essays, but we will also discuss global issues. So we also have profiles of some active personalities in Syria at the moment, engaging in the struggle against the dictator Bashar. May Allah bring him down. And so this magazine, this current edition, we thought that was very appropriate, considering that a lot of Muslims are just getting back into university, be they first years or be they experienced university students there for many years. It's a great theme to have because it allows for us to discuss youth at a local and global level, and that's very important because being youth in Sydney, Australia, we have a certain way we can go about things. We are limited in our context, but there's certain activity that we can engage in. However, elsewhere around the world, Muslim youth are engaging in very different activities. So, for example, one of the personalities that we have profiled in our magazine is that of a 20-year-old young man who used to be the Syrian national goalkeeper, but is now leading tens of thousands in protests in the Syrian city of Homs. So that's what we do. We have our magazine, and so we'd love for you to come down and grab a copy of it. But generally, what we want to do this year, inshallah, is really amp up the activity. What we want to do is get Muslims engaged on campus. So we will, inshallah, aim to have regular activities within the musalla, outside of the musalla. We want to have interactive sessions where, we want students to be as involved as possible. We want to provide lectures, we want to provide forums, we want to provide any sort of activity that will get the Muslims active on campus, because we truly need to be active on campus. So inshallah, we hope that if you are at UWS Parramatta, that you do come and you do involve yourself with the Muslim Student Association. You can look us up on Facebook as well, UWS MSA Parramatta. So please do that. You can contact us at uwsmsa@hotmail.com. of yourself so that we can have a very productive year. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hi, my name is Miran, who also works part-time as a tour guide in UTS these days. I don't do first years because I'm in 5th now, so you might want to try this sister over here named Iman. Hello. Man, welcome to UTS. Can you give us an idea of what you're doing here this semester?
I'm just here to do a unit to finish my degree.
Oh, so you don't actually go here?
Well, I go here for this semester.
Where do you normally go?
Do I have to say that? The UWS.
Are you ashamed? Are you ashamed that you go to UWS and not our beautiful UTS building?
I go to UWS.
Okay, say it out loud. So what are the things you look forward to doing on campus at UTS, especially with the Muslim Society this semester?
Meeting new people. I just met 4 new people, so that's good.
Okay. Do you think you're going to have a great time at UTS?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the biggest challenge that you're looking, to see this semester, or something you're not looking forward to about UTS? Although I really can't imagine any.
Getting around UTS, getting around it, because coming from Penrith, everything's right there, and here it's
Penrith? Is that even in Sydney?
Shut up, bro.
I think we can associate with you anymore. Oh no, we have free food. Okay, so that, yeah.
It's looking brighter.
Exactly, yeah. There's a lot to look forward to at UTS. In fact, we've got Suha, the president of the UTS Muslim Society, with us today. Suha, can you tell us a little bit about what people can look forward to at UTS this year?
Inshallah, we have heaps planned for this year. We've got an upcoming Islamic Awareness Week where you can come, you can find out more about
Okay, so when exactly is Islamic Awareness Week going to happen?
Week 3, inshallah, of this semester. We'll also have the meet and greet barbecue, which is going to be on the same week. Perfect opportunity for you to meet other Muslims on campus, get to know people from your course. Inshallah, we'll also be holding something called Buddy Day, where you can meet somebody who's older than you, well, not older than you, but somebody who's been in your course for longer, probably a 2nd or 3rd year student, and they can help you out with anything that you need, inshallah. And UTSMS will be facilitating that, inshallah.
So I guess that's pretty much like a first year directed thing, and or whoever's new at UTS. All right, do you need people to volunteer for the Buddy Network? Because I can see you're eyeing me, so you really want me on board.
I do, definitely. I have heaps of, on O Day we had heaps of new students who do engineering, communications, journalism, so inshallah, and law, which is a really popular course, mashallah. And yeah, so inshallah, I'm definitely looking for people who can help us out with that, inshallah.
Okay, cool. So that's a shout out, and if people want to get in touch with you, Suha, to sign up for these sorts of things, where do they go?
Just email me at info@utsms.org.au, and you can also contact us on Facebook at UTS Muslim Society as a friend, inshallah.
And guys, if you did not catch any of that and you need any further details, please feel free to contact us on our Facebook page, the Y Factor group, the Y Factor 87.6 FM group, sorry. And if you're not already on there, you're really missing out on some awesome discussions.
It's considered one of the most fitna-full.
She means that in a good way. We are Islamically approved, and the sheikhs all love us, alhamdulillah.
Now, well, it's an awesome group, great platform to discuss a range of issues, inshallah. So yeah,
sign up. Join it. Okay, great. Awesome. Lovely talking to you guys. Anyone want to add anything? No? All right. Awesome. Thanks for coming on the Y Factor, and good luck for the rest of the year.
We have a first year student here with us. What are you studying, sister?
I'm studying pharmacy.
Wow, we have pharmacy at UTS? I never knew that. Okay, so it's a new program, inshallah, that they're starting. That's awesome. Is this your first year at uni? Did you come straight out of school?
Yeah. No, I'm doing a master.
Oh, wow, cool, inshallah. Okay, so what do you like most about UTS so far? It's only been a couple of days, but what do you like most?
I like that it's a friendly atmosphere.
Yeah. Did you meet any Muslims on campus yet?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, cool, alhamdulillah. That's awesome. Well, do you know anything about the Muslim Society and what we do throughout the year? No? Okay. Well, inshallah, we have heaps planned. We have a whole buddy day where you can meet, new students and people who are doing the same course as you, who have already done it. Probably not with your course because, it's a new course. But inshallah, we have heaps of activities and stuff like that which you can sign up for, and you'll find out more through email and all of that. Anything you don't like about UTS? The building, yeah, that tall, ugly building that we have. Yeah, that's what I hated at first as well. That's all right, inshallah. Okay, well, that's about it. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm joined by Omar. Omar, how did you get into uni?
Did an HSC, I finished my HSC, and I went to the engineering at UTS.
Do you enjoy it?
Yes, we had the environment at UTS, very friendly, and lots of Muslims.
Is that what you expected?
Yeah, it's more expected and better.
طيب, alright, thank you, Omar. Mohammed Sabaman.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How much do you get in your HSCs then?
86.9.
86.9, very good. What are you studying?
Mechanical and mechatronic engineering.
Very good then. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah?
To draw all these mechanics, deal with all this weird stuff.
Is that what you expected?
Yeah, a bit here and there. Not usually the stuff that I thought. Just study a lot. All I have to do is just study a lot.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun.
Alright, congratulations to both of you. Assalamu alaikum.
Before we go, I'd like to shout out to all the boys in Lakemba. Lakemba Mosque, everyone there, I want you right. This is a shout out for you.
The Y Factor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Y Factor. Today we're at UWS Bangistown and we have Sister Rania and Brother Arbab with us. We have a few questions to ask for both of them. Sister Rania, how's the first week been at uni with the O week going on?
Well, actually, it's been quite busy. I actually started uni before the first week of uni, so and it was empty. Uni was empty, but now I don't find any parking, so it's quite annoying.
So, Brother Arbab, we'll ask you the difficult question of studies. So, what motivates you with your studies in uni?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Well, personally, the type of field I want to get into is I want to try and help the Ummah, especially the Shabab, as much as I can. So when I think of that and think of helping out the Muslims, it keeps me going and complete my degree and to move forward and to continue with my studies. So I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Morally, do you prefer beef or chicken?
Well, a meal without beef really isn't a meal. That's what I find. Like there's nothing better than a good steak. You can have that every day, I think.
Counter argue that, Sister Rania.
I do, because I prefer chicken. I disagree. Completely disagree. I prefer chicken.
Sister Rania wins.
What? 2 against 1.
Let's move on to the MSA, Muslim Student Association. We've been established for a couple of years on this campus. How do you think the MSA helps cater the needs of Muslim students on campus, Brother Arbab?
Well, honestly, I've been at uni for 2 years now, and just the fact that we have a musalla, we have halal food at the canteen, we have brothers have support from the other brothers, the sisters have support from the other brothers, and they can give advice on how to go about on campus. I think it's really beneficial and really helpful to the Muslims on campus, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So, Sister Rania, have you been active with the MSA in the past couple of years?
Yeah, of course. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great support system to all the Muslims at campus, because we need something like that. You know what I mean? You can just walk in and talk to anyone, and they're so friendly, they're so helpful. They let you borrow their books and everything like that. So that's excellent.
Alhamdulillah. So what is your goals and objectives for this coming year?
Personally, I want to start working part-time in my field, which is in juvenile justice. So I've applied and I'm looking into moving into that field. And other things I want to focus on is gaining more knowledge and doing more nafil ibadah, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So I'll ask you both the question of what is your message for first-year students on campus? Sister Rania.
Message is pray your daily prayers and do your Ramadan fast and stick to your religion, and you will be successful in this world and the next.
Brother Arbab?
I think that if people come to uni with the intention of studying for the sake of Allah, that you'll be blessed in your studies. Not only that, simple things like for sisters to wear the hijab, for brothers to grow the beard and to follow the sunnah, I think that really helps in maintaining a certain way of life at uni.
Yeah. Jazakallah khair for your time, and thank you for the interview. Assalamu alaikum.
The Y Factor.
He said, by my side. She was a mobility, successful in all her trade. Many wealthy men hate for her. Her life will now be whole. But she had never seen him so distressed as he was there that day. She would comfort him and hold him tight and chase his doubts away when he said, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, Dathiruni, Dathiruni. A mighty task has come before me. I need you here with me by my side.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the episode this week. But just before we wrap up, just quickly the events that are happening. Firstly, the Clean Up Lakemba with MV and FAMC is happening this Sunday, the 4th of March, as we mentioned, 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. Inshallah, as we said, they're cleaning up Croydon Lane in Lakemba, which is just off Haldon Street. And they will also be providing a free barbecue followed by that. So if you're interested, you can email Ahmed Kilani, ahmed@muslimvillage.com.au. Sorry, no AU, ahmed@muslimvillage.com, and it's AHMED. Or you can contact Bahram on 0424 357 051. So that's inshallah Clean Up Australia Day this Sunday. Also, on Saturday,
there's a UMA Sisterhood Market Day, and that's for women and children only. It is free entry with jumping castles, face painting, rides, balloons, toys and stores. So come in for the fun. It's for the family.
Family, women and children, inshallah. There's also a dawah table which will be available if anyone's interested, and they also have the Gift a Smile stand, which is for charity. So for more information, you can contact Sister Abir on 041 408 855. What else? There's UTS Muslim Society is having Syria May the Eyes of the Coward Never Rest, and that's Thursday, March the 8th at 1 p.m. inshallah. So that is held by the UTS Muslim Society.
Coming up on March 9th, there will be actually a event for the Australia Apartheid Week, and it's called Rhythms of Resistance.
That's right. That's March the 9th, Friday. So inshallah, that's something to look forward to. They do have, for anti-apartheid week, they actually have a couple of events coming up. So it's something to look out for. And I think
the MSAs are also taking part in it as well.
That's right. But this one, the Rhythms of Resistance ones, is at 3A Memorial Drive, Granville. The performance include musician and Palestinian activist Phil Mansour, Australian Poetry Slam State finalist Zohab Khan, hip-hop artist El Fresh the Lion, poet and spoken word artist Rima Soulbeat, oud player Muhammad Youssef, and more.
And that will include free giveaways, food and more in the night. And the details are...
Yeah, it's $10 for concession and $15 for adults, 6:30 to 6:30 p.m.
It's a great price.
That's right. So be sure to visit, and you can visit www.apartheidweek.org. They also have a Facebook page, and the Facebook event is Rhythms of Resistance Israeli Apartheid Week 2012 Social Night. So definitely something to look out for. And as I said, all the universities should be having their own anti-apartheid week activities. Not anti-apartheid, it's Israeli Apartheid Week. So they're basically protesting against the
apartheid state of Israel.
That's right. Apartheid Week is being hosted in Australia for the first time, and this is from March the 5th to the 9th. And events include workshops, film screenings, and checkpoint and apartheid world simulations will actually be held at the University of Technology and Macquarie University. So if you're interested, as we said, visit apartheidweek.org. Yusra, I don't know, my pronunciation this week is just
it's been a long day. Also, for more information, also check out the Students for Justice Palestine. They are quite active.
That's right, yep. That's right. It's Students for Justice in Palestine. They actually have a blog, and that's sjpas.blogspot.com. And they'll be hosting that too, inshallah. So that's something definitely to look forward to. Yeah. Also, for all the newbies, look out. Islamic Awareness Week should be coming up for some of the unis in a couple of weeks. Also, with Oda, you've got the store, so be sure to go around, say hello, and see what you can
enjoy the rest of your first week of uni.
That's right. And if you have, as we said, the discussion page on the Y Factor 87.6 FM. If you have any questions, if you have any grievances you'd like to air, get on there and let us know. Inshallah, there's more. There's a lot of people that do go to uni on there that are more willing to help you.
And if any ladies have proposed to their special others,
I honestly think that you've made it up.
The 29th of February for the leap year, please let us know.
All right, Yusra. All right. Anyway, the Y Factor disassociates itself from Yusra also. Without further ado, we'll just leave it there. Thank you for listening. You're listening to the Y Factor. Thanks for listening. You're listening to Y Factor on 87.6 FM.
Have a great night.